YouTube, it's your boy Sneaks back with a reaction, man. In today's video, we're gonna talk about LeBron James shares on real stories about Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So now we're gonna see LeBron James talk about y'all GOAT. Now I get to watch my GOAT talk about y'all GOAT. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and one more thing. Who's y'all GOAT? LeBron or Jordan? Me personally, LeBron James is my GOAT. I don't care how y'all feel about it. But yeah, let's get straight into the video, man.
Was there when you were a kid, who did you look up to? Whose game were you playing in your mind?
Wow, I love Michael Jordan. When you're growing up and you're seeing Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. I wear the number because of Mike.
A god is
I think I fell in love with the game because of Mike. The way he wore his shoes, the way he wore his uniform. The way that he approached the game, the way that he led his troops when he went out on the court. That's my inspiration in basketball.
To even be in the same breath as Michael Jordan, you can do nothing but smile.
It's great, and I'm gonna just keep working hard. And someday it could be another one that could be compared to me.
When I be done, I want people to say that LeBron James did it his way, and now he's a legend.
You a GOAT. That's what you is. You a GOAT.
So I'm growing up and I'm watching, this guy, Michael Jordan. I think all you guys know him, I think. So I'm growing up watching this guy on TV every day, and I'm like, wow, he's an amazing basketball player. Hopefully someday I get an opportunity to meet him. So I think it was my junior year in high school. I go up to Chicago and I go to a gym called Hoops where he plays basketball in the summertime.
They take us to Hoops. I'm going there.
It was one of the last days, and we'd always be the last to leave. And we were getting ready to leave, and we were literally walking out the door, and down the street, this red Ferrari pulls down the street, and it was literally like, for LeBron and I, it was like Black Jesus was coming down the street in a red Ferrari.
I didn't know he was going to be there, but I seen him walking towards me, and it was kind of like he was walking on air. I didn't know what to say. It was overwhelming to meet, to finally meet the guy that I've looked up to my whole life. I had to pinch myself. Is that Michael? Who?
I couldn't believe it. Like, people, I felt the dude looked like Jesus Christ to me.
And it's like he was like Black Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie. The glazed Jordan get is crazy. Y'all call this man somebody he walking on air. He Black Jesus. Nah, that's wild. That's wild.
To me, like
I didn't think he was real, man. You don't understand. I didn't think Michael Jordan was real. I only thought he lived in the TV, either in games or commercials or Come Fly With Me on cassette tapes. I didn't think he was real.
He was 16 because I was 19. One of my best friends was our assistant, who's now the head coach at Youngstown State. And we started talking. He started telling us he worked at this gym called Hoops, and he invited us over.
And Tim Grover calls me one day. He's like, "Hey, MJ said you can meet him."
Yeah. I was in Chicago because I got drafted, and then the runs was at Hoops.
And at the time, Michael was retired.
And this is when he was prepping.
Fun fact, y'all. I watched this video on Twitter where one of our artists was saying LeBron James versus Jordan. Like it was a they scrimmaged against each other, and I ain't gonna lie, Ron Test said LeBron was dropping Jordan off. That's all I know, man. He ain't lying. He probably not lying though.
For his comeback to the Wizards.
So we went over that spring and took LeBron, and we were kind of just like in awe. It was like this basketball heaven. During the days, like all the pros would come in, like Antoine Walker, Ron Artest, and Jamal Crawford.
Antoine Walker, Michael Finley, Jerry Stackhouse. They was all up in the building. Maybe Sam Cassell showed up.
Paul Pierce was there. Penny Hardaway.
Finley was in there. Stackhouse was in there. A young LeBron was in there.
Yeah. This is when I used to come to the gym with Scotty and them boys. Yeah. LeBron was a sophomore. Maverick brought him.
Maverick brought him, really? Maverick was there with him? That's amazing. I didn't know that.
And they'd work out for like an hour, and then they play. They just play pickup for like an hour.
And before they play, they say Mike always, used to lift before they play. So we walk upstairs. I don't know anything about lifting right now. I'm a high school sophomore. I don't know anything about lifting. We walk up there. The first person I see is Charles Oakley. Oak being from Cleveland, dapped him up. I had seen Oak around the city a few times,
Tim Grover had the gym. and we always, come in, work out.
Oak move, and when he moves, Mike is sitting on the bench press. And I was like, oh my fucking God.
And I couldn't believe it when we went back upstairs into the weight room. There was just me, him, G, and LeBron, and he talked to us for like 15 minutes. And that was the first time LeBron ever met Mike. And I honestly don't remember anything that was said in the conversation. He was very, I think he was talking to LeBron about like NBA and being a pro and giving him lessons, but it was like, everything just sounded like blurred out to me, like I was listening to God speak. It was like
he was just like his aura. It was like a ghost. He don't seem real. He don't seem real.
He called me a young fella, of course, and just basically told me to keep working at it, and someday I can get to the NBA. I was a junior in high school, so I guess he told me something right, and I just kept working at it.
Yeah. Well, right now, as a 16-year-old, what's your long-term goal?
To get to the NBA.
And LeBron would roll into the gym. They would lift, and then they would play. Tim would train all the guys. He had a couple of trainers who would help him, and then they would just play pickup, like to games to 7. At first, it was like LeBron was this 16-year-old kid. They're like, he couldn't get in the first game or two because they're pros. They need to work.
And, for me, when I got the opportunity, they didn't let me play for like the first hour. Because I'm like,
young guy
I'm 16. Yeah, young guy. I'm sitting there just waiting my turn.
And so when he was 16, he was out there playing. And if you watch the game, he didn't stick out. You didn't go like, oh, there's a kid out there. It was like, oh, there's just another player out there. Like,
so he's coming into the gym. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to see what he got.
Mm-hmm.
And he was cooking. Like he was 15 or 16, posting, getting to the basket. And I'm like, this is going to be a huge issue.
Right.
And he could pass, and he had the size and the ability to get in and got a couple buckets.
Well, everybody knew who he was. He was already famous. He was bigger than all of us in the gym.
To be honest, I didn't even think I would even get the opportunity to play. And the only reason I played is because the guys that was in the league, after after an hour, some of them niggas get tired. They like, what, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Hey, young fella, hey, we need a fifth. You want to play? So for me to be on the court, at 16 years old, sophomore in high school with, my favorite player of all time, man, it was like, this can't be real, man. If you pinch me, man, I was like, please, I hope I don't wake up.
So that's why
I gave him a forearm on fast break. He was coming, he was cooking. Nobody can guard him, LeBron James.
At all.
They couldn't guard him. I'm like, I'm getting embarrassed. He's embarrassing us.
Damn, nigga said nobody can guard him. And this nigga's 16 years old. And he's grown, man. He playing NBA. They in NBA for years. And they can't guard him. Y'all talking he ain't the GOAT.
Full speed LeBron James. Boom. I lay him on the floor. He get up and start cooking more. He's just tough. He was about 225 at that time.
Well, and when I got back home to Akron and I told my boys, because they know how crazy I am about MJ, they was like, nah, you lying. I'm like, dog. I was, not only did I see Mike, I was on the court with Mike. And I was like, if the man above would have took me that day, I would have lived a hell of a life. I swear to God. After seeing Mike.
Oh, yeah, it was great. For me to meet Michael Jordan, it was like, I think it was better than the president.
That you are chasing the ghost of this guy who played in Chicago. What did you mean?
I meant in the simple fact that that's my personal inspiration. That's what drives me. And
you want 6 rings? Are you chasing that specific? What are we talking about here?
I'm chasing that greatness, that how great that ghost was. That's always been my goal since I got in the NBA. When I was 18 years old, I told everyone that my favorite player was Michael Jordan. And hopefully I can get to that point.
For me, it could be compared to Michael, Magic, Kobe, all the ones that's making so success in the league. It's great, and I'm gonna just keep working hard. And someday, it could be another one that could be compared to me.
And at the end of the day, for my name to come up in a discussion with the greatest basketball player of all time, it was like, wow. I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you saw the red part. I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. I didn't go bald like Mike, but I'm getting there. But I'm getting there. That's the only thing I didn't do. But other than that, I did everything Mike did. I even wore a wristband on my forearm.
We play in different eras. He's an unbelievable player. Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. I know it's a natural tendency to compare eras to eras, and it's going to continue to happen. I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play. I think he's made his mark. He will continue to do so over a period of time. But when you start the comparisons, I think it is what it is. It's just a standard measurement. And I take it with a grain of salt. He is a heck of a basketball player, without a doubt.
I did not want to lose the opportunity to shake the man's hand that inspired me throughout my childhood. Haven't had much dialogue with him in my 20 years or 19 years in this business, but part of me wouldn't be here without MJ's inspiration. I always wanted to be like him growing up. It's crazy that the game-winning shot tonight was a fadeaway, and it was inspired by MJ. The way he wore his shoes, the way he wore his uniform, all the way down to like some of the cars that he drove. How much he inspired me, and I didn't want to waste that opportunity because we're just not in the same building a lot, and haven't been in the same building a lot throughout my career, and it meant something to me.
Well, man, there y'all have it, man. LeBron sharing his story on Michael Jordan, man. That's his favorite player. Gotta respect him, man. He did everything, try to be like Jordan. And I ain't gonna lie, man. To me, he better than Jordan. I ain't gonna lie. Like, 40,000 points. He got 4 rings. He damn near got every record book. He damn near got every record in the book to be named. He still got a couple more records to beat. Hey, man. I'm gonna watch some more videos on Mike. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate Mike, but I don't appreciate him. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all old heads, y'all be on Mike. Y'all be on Mike tip, man. But hey, anyway, man, it's been your boy Sneaks, man. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. Let me know what other reactions y'all want to see about basketball. And yeah, man, make sure you turn the post notification on. Make sure you like that. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, it's been your boy Sneaks. And I'm out. This guy. Love y'all, man. Sneaks out.